Heyo. Let's readjust. Hang on, it might be a bit loud, so apologies. Okay. I didn't touch my hair this morning. I mean, I showered, I washed my hair with water and cold water, but I didn't use a hairbrush and I didn't use a hair dryer. But it's so short that I don't think it matters. It's kind of cool. I don't know if it is. I don't know if cool is the right word to describe it, to be honest with you. But hey, it is something that is existing. It's undeniable. So we're going to get started with this. We're doing the mix down. Sorry, we've done the mix down. We're doing just the mastering now. So I'm going to open up the mastering chain, but before I do that, we're going to have a listen to the whole thing, make sure everything sounds good and everybody is happy. And by everybody, I mean mainly me. So we're going to have a listen and get it motherfucking rolling. Yeah? I'll leave this up here as well so you've got something fun to look at. You're welcome.
Please put your hands together. The infamous Lion Tamer. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's not one lion, it's two.
All right, cool. Trash song, I can't wait for it to be over. So let's do the mastering over here. The reason I want to do it on the second drop is because we've got elements of the song which are mainly left and mainly right channels in the stereo headspace. And that will cause for distortion so much quicker. So we're gonna have to fucking focus there. So let's have a listen. Very unfortunate. Now, what I would like to do really quick, ayo, is test out my sound. So these headphones, unfortunately, I love them to bits, but they are fucked. And what that means is that they're not centralized. So we're just going to be hearing a lot of clicking and popping as I try to make sure that they're as central as I can get them. All right. Oh. Yeah, that's not central. Sorry, one moment. Okay. Apologies for that, but we are back in business. All right, so my headphones are as central as they can be, though maybe we just... I mean, we've done the mix down already, and that was not in mono anyway, so why the fuck does it matter now? Pop quiz, why the fuck does it matter now? Pop answer, it fucking doesn't. All right, let's jump in, right? Let's go into Perfect Master. Good morning, Sonny. How you doing, big dog? How you doing? I hope you're doing good, bro. We're doing the mastering of this song now. So we've done the mix down. Yippee-ki-yay. Now we're doing the motherfucking mastering. I'm going to put the whole thing in mono. Not that it matters to you, because I'm going to assume, correct me if I'm wrong, if you're even still here, I'm going to assume you're watching this on your phone with AirPods in. Correct me if I'm wrong. I know you, Sonny. I know you like the back of my hand. I'm good. Saw the circus editing the other day. Had to tune in. Yeah. Well, I was doing the mix down the other day, and now I'm doing the mastering. I've actually done the mix down and mastering for the intro with your vocals on it. The crude vocals is what we've gone with, by the way. And then we've got the clowns with your vocals, the juggler with your vocals, the fire breather with vocals that I've taken from Firestarter by the Prodigy, and then the Lion Tamer also with your vocals. Yes, I'm watching on the toilet. Nice. You taking a shit? You taking a big turd, big boy? Hey, bro, in terms of credits, how do you want me to credit you on these songs? Do you want me to just, like, maybe like on the EP, I can call it like, you know, Intro to Circus by Lim Lam featuring Sonny? Or, I mean, do you want your full name? Do you want just Sonny? Do you want each song to be like Lim Lam featuring Sonny? Are my political views still on the tracks? Yes. Yes, they are. I mean, look, we've got... In fact, if you would like to hear a little bit of something, we've got a lot of these stuff here. I mean, this is the bottom one, so I'm going to assume that this is the one that we did not use. Let's have a listen. Just my name, please.
He's not only going to tame the lions, he's going to fuck the lions. Yeah.
You happy with that? Didn't include that. But over here at the end, I've just recently taken this off, but this was going to be here as well.
He's not only going to tame the lions, he's going to fuck the lions. Yes, you heard that right, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to fuck the lions. So be prepared. He's going to let out a major roar.
Lovely. And this is how you ended it on the other one.
In the end, the lions were tamed, if you understand what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. If you did not look away the whole time, then please give your eyes some water as you leave the theatre. Thank you.
Sonny, may I remind you that this live stream is permanent, yeah? Don't say anything that you don't want shared permanently onto the internet, yeah? Just a forewarning. But yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, just your name, please. And by your name, do you mean first name and last name, or just first name? And do you want me to put your name on each one of the tracks, or just on the EP itself? Right? We could do individual tracks. It might be a bit difficult to do that on Spotify, though. Scouts on, I gotcha. It might be a bit difficult to do that on Spotify. The reason being, you don't have a artist profile on Spotify. Yeah. Just the EP itself. I'm not sure if I can do that. I don't know why I suggested that. I can try. It's going to say every single one of these songs is Lim Lam featuring Sonny, but that's not the case, because this one song isn't featuring you. Just one song. The majority of them are. Yeah, I could Well, I'll see when I'm doing it, when I'm setting it up for sharing into the world. All right, cool. Enough of that. I'm glad that you enjoyed that. I'm going to get into the mastering process. So we've got the whole thing in mono. I've got a compressor here. It's actually a limiter. And we're going to limit it down so that we've got minus 0.3 decibels of limiting. Don't forget that number, Sonny. I'll leave you to your work. I'll speak to you soon. See you later, bro. Thanks for coming down. Okay, so we've got 0.1 decibels of ducking. We need to increase that. There we go. So we've got 0.3 there. Like I say, I do want to focus here, but let's just have a listen, have a watch, and see which part is actually the loudest. Because there's a chance that that is not even the loudest part. And if that's not the loudest part, then we need to find what is. So we're looking for something AAC, round trip AAC. I don't know what round trip means, but that's what we're looking for. So this is going to show us the samples and the intersamples, the loudness of it essentially, yeah? So we're just looking for the parts that peaks the most. So over here we can see that we've only got minus 21, now we've got minus 17, minus 15, so this part's louder. We can look at any of these numbers, doesn't matter. Let's go with source, who gives a shit. So 11.5 is there, 9.5, so this part so far is the loudest. Nothing, oh, there we go. This part now is the loudest. I'm going to keep my mouse wherever the loudest part is. So we can get an accurate representation of where the loudest part of the song is. Hang on, let's do this with the compressor off, because what the fuck am I doing otherwise? You know, right now I've just limited the whole thing, and so it's just showing me when it reaches the limit. I'm an idiot. All right, let's, I mean, look, over here was quite loud, so we're going to start it here, and then as soon as it gets really loud, I'm just going to move my mouse to where it was. So 11.7 is there, 9.2 is there. So this does seem like it's the loudest part so far. Nothing has beat that yet. Keep listening and keep an eye out. We're looking for anything above 9.2 now. I love the concept of the song more than the actual song, and I think that's the case with this entire EP. The concept is so much cooler than the actual songs. Oh, right there is minus 8.9. Let's keep it going. And I've got this in mono, so perhaps fucking shit up. Maybe I should have just chucked a saturator on there, because then that whip sound would be loud in its own right without needing to distort everything else. I mean, look, nothing's getting louder than that whip sound. And like I say, that whip sound is the loudest part. It sounds awesome, and I really love that whip sound, and I think it needs to be that loud. But it doesn't need to be that technically loud. It just needs to be that present in the mix. Oh shit, we've already got fucking loads of saturators and oh shit. God damn it. Alright, let's get a clipper on there. That should work. That should work. I'll chuck a clipper on there and see if it works. But I think it should work. I'm going to loop it, and we're listening closely to make sure there's no badness saturation where we don't want it to be. Without, with, without, with. There's some crispiness there. I'm not sure if you can hear it, but there is crispiness, and that's what I'm focusing on. I'm going to turn the in really high so that you can hear very clearly the crispiness, and then I'm going to dial it down. Hear that crispiness. So that's where I can't hear the crispiness anymore, and this is without. With. Cool. Does the job. So this, therefore, technically should no longer be the loudest part. Whether that's true or not, we're going to have to explore. So let's explore. So I'm going to reset that, and we'll start it from just before to whip and see if the drop is now louder than the whip. And I'm really fucking hoping the drop is louder than the whip. But let's see.
It's true.
Look, we've made the whip significantly quieter per the sample decibels, but it's still the loudest part.
It's not one lion, it's two.
Which makes sense because we did boost it a few decibels, but let's turn it down.
It's not one lion, it's two. It's not one lion, it's two. It's not one lion, it's two. It's not one lion, it's two.
Go on then. About there, maybe, I don't know. Let's find out. Let's reset this motherfucker and let's have a listen again. Hopefully we get some more peaks elsewhere in the mix. Let's go. But 19.5, 15.5, 13.4 is the highest so far. Yeah, there we go. There we go. The drop is now the loudest part. 11.2 for this drop so far. Nothing has been louder yet. Even this part's not louder. Perfect, perfect. That's exactly what we want, and we're going to have a listen to drop 1, see if that's louder than 11.2. We'll just leave this as is. We do not need to even reset it. Let's go. It's pretty much the same. I mean, it's... okay. There we go. That's much louder. Now, why is that so loud, actually? It's because it's layered with that extra bullshit. Yeah, this. Let's have a listen and see if it is even necessary to have this layering. This is what the layer sounds like. And together. Without. Yeah, it's not super necessary. But it's not bad. Alright, let's take this and bring it over to drop 2 and see if this makes sense as well. Nope, it doesn't. Where it is exactly where it should be. And it makes it the loudest part of the song. Hey, it's cool, and I fuck with it heavy. Alright, so let's loop just that part. And that is what we're going to be fucking with. Ooh yeah. Ooh yeah. Ooh yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me turn my fan on because it's getting a bit toasty in here. And I'm hoping this fan isn't too loud on you guys. My mic's here, the fan's right, it's directly in line with it, but it's perfectly in line with me, and it's keeping me nice and cool. All right, let's get in. All right, so here is our part that we're going to be repeating over and over and over again. We're going to keep it in mono because why the fuck not? A little bit of fun, a little bit of sunshine. We're going to turn on this limiter again. We're looking for 0.3 gain reduction. Gain reduction of 0.3. And so right now we've got 0.3. Look at that. It's absolutely perfect already. And we can see over here we've got 0.25, 0.26, 0.25, 0.26. We could 0.28. Yeah, we'll leave it as that. It's clipping. You can see it. It's clipping just tiny little bits, but it's constantly clipping. Look at that. Constantly clipping. Really, really nice. Next up, we're going to cut out the very lows, very highs, and we're going to brighten up the highs just a smidge. Literally, the highs are being brightened up by half a decibel, yeah? So this is with and without that half a decibel of brightening of the highs. So this is without and with. Doesn't hurt, and it's always nice to brighten it up, because with the high end it's arguably a little more forgiving. The more high end there is, it's more bright and you can push it louder. If you push the low end, you get distortion so much quicker. And if we're going to be mixing it down to pink noise, which we have done, we've got a lot more energy in the high end that we can be pushing. We can make everything, like pretty much, the higher you get, the more loud you can make it in this point in time. Before it distorts, yeah? That's not to say it's going to sound good, but that is to say that we could push it if we wanted to. Next up, we've got Fur Comp. It's just a compressor. And we're going to bring it down to, at most, -3 decibels of reduction, of compression, yeah? Keeping the ratio as is, keeping the knee as is. We've got the attack time really fast, and the release time actually the same speed. So both are really quite fast, actually. Actually, this attack time is very slow. That's fast, that's slow, yeah? But the release time is almost the same. Yeah, we could have really fucking slow, but it's not that slow. We've got it almost the same, yeah? And threshold, that's what we're going to be fucking with, and we're going to leave the makeup as is because we don't need it yet. It's going to get quieter before it gets louder, okay? That's just the way the cookie crumbles. Accept it. Let's move forward. Have a listen. We can see we're going past that line here. This line right here would be the -3, so we're going to drag this threshold until we're getting the reduction that we want. A little more. Smidgen more. And a little bit more. And let's do a little bit more for funsies. All right, there we go. It's touching the line, and that's exactly what we want to be doing, yeah? And this is the loudest part of the song, don't forget. And so this is literally the loudest possible part that it can go. This is the loudest, absolute loudest. Now we've got the Bassstaus soothe, essentially. We're going to ramp it up and slowly bring it down. You'll be able to hear exactly what it does. So this is what it sounds like without and with. It's taming the peaks, reducing the resonances. All right, let's turn it up a bit and let's go. Let's dial it down. Now, we don't want too much of this. We just want it to be subtle, and we want it to be enough to tame the peaks to allow us to push the mix further. But if we have too much of it, it's going to change the mix. It's changing how the mixdown sounds entirely. It's changing how the song sounds. We want it to be a flavor at most. We don't want it to be the whole meal. We want this to be a fucking basil leaf on the side of the plate. Maybe not even eating that basil leaf. Just the smell of the basil leaf is making the entire rest of the dish yummier. And so this is just if we can get it where it's not even fucking perceived, that's great. We're not going to be able to get that. It's going to be perceived. But I'm just looking for where we can bring it where it still sounds good, and that's just going to give us more space to push it later on in the mix and make the whole thing louder. So we're going to dial it up and we're going to bring it slowly down until it sounds okay. And then we can compare on and off so that you can hear very clearly what it sounds like with and without. So all the way up again. And you can see the EQ, this is before. And okay, that's after, yeah? So you can see how the EQ changes as we move the wetness. Yeah, it's mainly fucking with the high end, to be honest, but it's the resonant peaks. Yeah, so we're gonna dial it down. It also warms the bass up, I think. We're gonna dial it down, and you can actually hear, this is gonna, listen up, this is gonna tell you exactly what we're missing. These are the frequencies that are being cut out. And this is it all together. All right, so we're going to dial it down. Okay, so this is, oh, let me open this up so that you can see it. There we go. So this is with Fasthouse and without. With, arguably too much. Let's have it on 0% and work our way all the way up and down again. And bring it down. I like the flavor of 0%, and let's work our way down. Much more air when it's off. Let's have it there. It's subtle. It's subtle. Let's turn up the amounts and see if we can hear a difference. 2 times? Oh yeah. 4 times? Oh yeah. 8 times. And then 0. This is a difference. All right. So, without Fasthouse, with Fasthouse. To me, it almost makes that Lion sound more emphasized, which is lovely. And I know that we increased the highs earlier on, and we pretty much just removed those highs that we increased, but we needed to do this for this later stage. Next up, we've got Hornet 31 MK2 Mark II. I think that's what MK means, Mark. All right, so let me turn it on. We'll have a listen to what it sounds like fully and then off. So this is full and off. So we want a midpoint between it. This is too lively. This is too dead. Too lively. Too dead. So we're looking for a nice midpoint. So we're going to turn it all the way up and then bring it down. Okay, so this is without Hornet and with. Very nice, very nice. Next up, we've got K-Clip 0. This is going to make the whole thing much louder, so you're going to need to bear with me because it's going to get very loud in your headphones. Feel free to turn down the volume as we do this. I'm going to turn down your volume after I'm done with this, yeah? So you're not going to be able to hear me, that's okay. All right, just be prepared. It's not loud yet, but it will be very soon. Okay, there you go. I turned down your volume. So we can see these peaks and they're touching the tops, they're touching the bottom. That's just about what we want. Yeah. So it looks like it's the second whip sound that is, you know, reaching the sides and stuff, being super loud. But it might not be. It could be the kick going whoop. Who knows? All right, let's move forward. Next up, we've got limiter again. We're looking for, once again, 0.3 decibels of reduction. So we're going to look here and we're going to just drag this threshold down. That's too much. That's too much. Bring it down a smidgen more. About there. We'll leave it there. There we go. There we go. So now this is only touching the drums. And that's what we want, right? We want the drums to be piercing through the mix, but we just want to tame it a little bit, yeah? So it's just touching the drums and the whip sounds. We know that it's touching just the drums because that's when this is happening. Just during the drums and the whip sounds. Next up, my lovely, my one and only motherfucking master plan. So I'm going to start off with a master plan by turning it onto mono. I'm going to turn off my utility, which is I had in the beginning of the whole thing, making it mono. And we're just going to use master plan to turn it mono now. Let's have a listen to it, make sure it sounds the same. Sounds almost slightly different, to be honest. Anyway, so we've got unity on there, which means that any effects, anything that we do, it's going to keep the perceived volume the same. Yeah, so it shouldn't be deafening. So we're going to start with a low, then we're going to do higher, then loud, then wide, then thick, then clean, then maybe multi, probably not, then smooth, then calm, then 2x, probably have 2x on, and then tape. All right, let's go. And remember, this EQ is showing us in real time what everything looks like. I don't use that EQ to look at, but it might be rather fun for you to look at it, yeah, if you wanted to. All right. So I'm looking for a nice level where I can increase it all the way, hear what it sounds like, and then slowly decrease it until it sounds just right. I'm really trying to push the highs here, and I think that's okay to do. Let's keep that mono plugin on, to be honest. Let's put mono there, and we're going to put it way at the start, and then that way we can just have this off. And so we can hear on and off what this has done, right? So this is without the low and high boosted, and with. Much more airy. All right, and now we're going to pump up the loud knob. We're going to do it all the way and then dial it back so that we can hear very clearly what the distortion is when we turn it up. It's a special limiter / clipper circuit, so we're going to just pump it all the way up, and then dial it down. Very clear what that distortion is. I'm going to be honest with you, I think that's the limit, which is a crazy amount gains there. But I think that's the limit. Because having a little bit of distortion there isn't bad, considering it's an actual fucking lion. Let's have a listen to the meows, make sure everything's okay. Just checking the kick and bass together, making sure that there's not any distortion there. I think it's okay. I think it's okay. There is a little bit. I think it's okay. We'll do the wide knob last. We've got it on mono anyway. And now we're gonna fuck with the thick, and yeah, let's see what we've got cooking. So this is saturation essentially. This goes a long way, especially with something that's already quite saturated in the low mids. Yeah, without and with. It's tough. All right, now we're going to clean up those low mids. Cool, I like it. Now I'm thinking, in terms of this multi-band compression, I don't think we need it. Once again, if the mix down's good, I mean, I feel like normally we don't need this. Let's try with and without smooth. I could be hearing things. I think it sounds better with the smooth. Let's do calm 2 times and then bring it down. Cool, and then take, which pretty much if we just focus our ears onto the bass, it's going to change how tight or how warm it is. Without, with. All right, so this is at 7:13. Let's see if we can pump it up louder. Let's try it again. I think that's the absolute fucking limit that it can go. But I'm fucking happy with that. All right, and now we're going to take it off of mono and take it off of Unity. It is going to be loud, okay? So I'm just going to turn down your volume a smidgen. I don't know how loud it's going to be, but I mean, I can guess it's going to be 8.9 decibels louder than it was before. So maybe there. I don't know. I'm just guessing how fucking loud I need to make it for you guys. All right, let's listen to the whole thing and make sure everything sounds cool. Let's close all of this and have this open so we've got something nice to watch.
Please put your hands together. The infamous Lion Tamer.
Also, normally, sorry, I know we were in listening mode, but normally I fuck with the wide, but this is very, very wide. Let's try fucking with the wide and we'll dial it down. Yeah, subtle. Yeah, because it's already really fucking wide. All right, sorry. Let's carry it on from here.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's not one lion, it's two.
Cool. Well, there you go. Look, we've clipped everywhere in that we've clipped in the encoded sample, the encoded intersample, the source intersample. We're clipping all over the place. Clipping up to 1.2 decibels, which is terrible, terrible. I know. Oh my god. But also, I'm making dubstep, so whatever. I don't care. Ha ha ha. Don't care. Yeah, we should have had it on source so that you can't see the clipping. All right, so yeah, there we go. There we go. That's I'd say it's done. It doesn't sound the best. I don't like this song, but the mix down, the mastering is done. Lovely. Select all and save. This motherfucker is done. I can finally release it. Yippee! I'm going to drag this circus plan to finish. Unreleased. Yippee-ki-yay. Now, what's next in Unmixed? I should, and I will be now, starting from the bottom. Yeah, because when I drag something new, it always goes to the top, so I should start from the bottom and work my way up. I think these ones are, less important, dare I say. Yellow means that it's already been mixed. I know that it's been mixed already because it says mixed already here. I think that's all it says. Yep, mixed already. So we can have a listen to it. I've not done the mastering. And it looks like a very, very simple song. Awesome. Distraught Wobblefuck is what this song is called. So we'll have a listen, and then on another day, we'll do the mastering for this. Oops, looped it by accident. Let's carry on from here. I think it makes more sense to have a kick there. Yeah. And a kick there. Ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, 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 bum, ba-dum, bum, boo. I mean, normally I don't do shit like this after the mixdown is done because it's naughty, but I do think it needed a multi-band compressor to brighten up the highs a bit. Let's do a before and after, and yeah, I'm hoping that I've not fucked up my shit. And then after. Without. With. Without. Yeah. Okay. It does need it, but then it makes it quieter. So if I'm going to have the OTT, I would probably like to have a clipper in after, which just kind of opens up a whole bag of issues, to be honest with you. Let's group these together so I can toggle them on and off together, and then let's fuck with this Hasrock. Let's link it and then see what happens. Okay, without. With. Without. With. Without. With. Very, very subtle difference. I tried to do gain matching, so the levels, the volume is perceived as the same. If I want it to be brighter, I can always turn up the amount on the OTT, but I don't want to do that too much. Fuck all of this shit, man. That's exactly just what it needed. Hideous thing, but it's what it's needed. I'm going to bring the noise in. I'm sorry for your ears. I'm going to bring down your volume. Hopefully it's not going to be too loud. I'm going to bring down mine as well. Okay. So this is before and after that change. Let me turn your volume up. There we go. Okay. After the change. And before the change. Oopsie. Jinx, I'm literally about to go. I'm trying to do an hour, but I'll stick around just for you. In fact, you can help me out here. You let me know. No bueno or bueno? Yeah, they're the two options. Damn you! I'll stick around for you. Don't worry. No bueno or is it bueno? Yeah. So, for example, this. Or do you think this needs to be a bit quieter? I think we can have it quite loud, to be honest. I might dial it up and bring it down. Look, there's very few elements in this. If we treat these two as one element, then there's very, very, very few elements. And I quite like that. We've got a bass, we've got a sub. This is what the bass sounds like. Nice warm. That sound that's coming from the left needs to come down a little bit. Sound that's coming from the left. I'm going to be honest with you. My headphones, in terms of stereo space, is fucked. I don't know what sound's coming from the left. Gotcha. So it's this. It could be this frequency up here. Let me highlight it and you tell me if it's this. Yeah, you ready? I think it's up here. Is that it? This. So without the boosting, with. Yeah, that. Gotcha. Yeah, okay, yeah, you are right. It can be brought down a bit. Let me increase the Q so I'm not fucking with all this shit. It kind of pierced my ear too much. Do you like dubstep? Because this is dubstep, baby. I quite like the piercing of ears. I mean, I don't have my ears pierced, and this is the only way I can do it, right? No, I really like abrasive sounds, to be honest with you, which is unfortunate. But I just want to know about the level of this actual synth in respect to everything else. That's too loud. I think that's the absolute loudest I can get it without it being crazy. Okay, there we go. I mainly only mix hip hop, but I'm here for it. Gotcha. So that would yeah. I listen to all kinds of music, just speaking from a listener's standpoint, but maybe you're putting me onto something. Maybe. Like I say, I like really fucking abrasive sounds. I like really weird sounds, more specifically, but abrasion comes with it as well. And then I subbed regardless. I love seeing people mix live. Oh, thank you for the sub, bro. Keep up the good work, champ. Will do. Will do. I mean, I enjoy doing. I don't enjoy doing mix downs, to be honest with you. I think the mix down process is. I used to love it, but I've got into the recently. I've got into doing mix down and mastering every single morning for at least an hour. It's become very unenjoyable as a result. But I think because it's unenjoyable, it's causing me to experiment a little bit with mixdown techniques. And I think that's a good thing. It allows me to learn a little better. That's it. We don't need to keep going on after that. It's clear what's happening. It's fine. All right, cool. Let's collect all and save. Just for you, we'll do the mastering as well. Kind of can't be bothered. I haven't had breakfast yet, bro. Okay, look. Tune in for the next time. We'll do the mastering next, yeah? Because mixdown's done. Do you want to hear another song whilst you're here? If you're still here, I'll give you a choice of which song. If you're still here, you got to let me know if you're still here. You've got, I don't know, 20 seconds to decide. Once that goes 48:20, then I'm gonna go. If you don't say anything. Cool, I don't think you're here. All right, I'm gonna go. All right, look, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks for coming down. Goodbye.